kitchen.
All right. Welcome, everybody. My name is Dilla Barman.
I'm Cody Stubbe.
I'm Carolyn Strickland.
And I'm coming to you from North Carolina, and Cody's in Nebraska, and Carolyn's in Alabama. So welcome. Those of you who are new, welcome to So Many Cooks in the Kitchen. This is a monthly show. We've been doing it for more than 5 years. And what we do in the holidays, hello from Ohio. I got a message there. Hello, Kathy Sabo. So those of you who've been watching for a while, welcome back. What we do in the holidays is you're busy and we're busy too. So, and we have more than 5 years worth of shows. So we're going to play in just a second. Carolyn, Cody, and I will kick off the show. We'll just take 5 minutes and tell you what's going on. And then we'll watch some old favorites, 2 old favorites. And then we'll do the same thing in a couple weeks and a couple weeks again. So today, with holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas and Hanukkah and Eid and all those holidays coming up, a lot of us like to make delicious food in the kitchen. I want to encourage you guys, maybe Cody, you can put it up on the screen, the link, or we'll do it once the show gets going. This month, we have a fabulous document for you. It's our recipes, but Brenda Davis, RD, she's my favorite nutritionist. She always contributes an appendix, and her appendix is out of the park. It's beautiful. She has written lots of strategies how to cook during the holidays where we're busy, and how to cook easy and healthy foods. So you'll find her appendix and then her recipes. So Brenda, thank you so much for every month doing these documents for us. You'll see our recipes. And so what we made is, I guess in 2022, I made a stovetop apple crunch. It's delicious. It's easy. On my way home, I called one of my students' moms, and I said, have your daughter make this because it's very easy. It's in a pan. There's no added fat, and it's delicious except for the nuts, and the nuts you can leave out. So in fact, I think I added this to my Thanksgiving menu. So some of you may know I host the country's biggest vegan Thanksgiving, and today I put the menu together. So that's what I'm making. How about you guys? What are we rebroadcasting for you guys?
So Carol and I are making a couple of wonderful cheese sauce recipes. These are Carolyn's recipes. And we did this demonstration on the cruise that we were on together last January. And it was so much fun. Just did a wonderful cooking demonstration to the audience of the attendees of the cruise ship. And yeah, it was such a blast, delicious, easy recipes. And all the attendees just seemed to really love these recipes. So we're excited to share that with you again today.
And Carolyn, many of these recipes, or all these recipes, were yours, right?
Yes, ones that I've come up with over the years. So some of our family's favorites. So they are yummy, and it was a while ago. We did that. When is that? January?
Yeah, almost a year ago.
Hard to believe. Yeah, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
Some people are a little surprised that when you go vegan, whole food, plant-based, that means you give up cheese, but we don't. There's many fabulous plant-based cheeses. You can buy them in the market. They generally aren't very healthy, but the recipes we're going to show if yours are healthy. And that's what we do in the show. We want to show you how easy it is to be plant-based, vegan, whole food, plant-based with limited fat. We're all Food for Life instructors, Physicians Committee Food for Life instructors, pcrm.org. Check out in your area or virtually if there are some Food for Life classes. We've been Food for Life instructors for a long time. You know, Cody, when I met you, I thought of you as kind of new to it, but you're a veteran as well.
The veteran now, for sure.
You're not new.
Years are flying by.
Hard to believe.
And Carolyn's been an instructor for almost as long as I have. I guess I've been 12,
1
14.
year on me. Yeah, I was 1 year later.
So we're going to roll the recording. It's about half an hour. You'll see my segment first. And remember, this is a recording, so some of what we say will like the very beginning of Cody and Carolyn's is cut off. They're on a cruise ship. I was supposed to be on that cruise ship. Something came up. I couldn't be there. But it's a plant-based vegan cruise that we love. So please forgive that it's not live. It's recorded. You'll see in my segment, I think we included the beginning. But you'll see parts are cut off because at the end of mine, I introduce somebody and we're not showing their cooking. So you won't see us again live. In fact, I think Carolyn and Cody are off to do something else. I'll stick around. So if you post anything on Facebook or YouTube, I will watch and I will respond. And I won't get back on live. So we'll just run the show. And then where's the graphic so you can see what the next one is? The next one is going to be November 24th at 7 o'clock. And then our regular time Saturday at 2 o'clock. Those are our upcoming shows. So
I have a question, Dilip. If people want the recipes for what we're about to make tonight, your recipe, our recipe, that's part of the document that Brenda put out?
That's right. And I posted it right here.
Okay, good.
So that's how you would get what we're doing. Right now, you will see just Cody, Carolyn's, and my recipes. And then over the next little while, we'll add to that same document the ones we haven't decided what we're rebroadcasting for the next one. So we'll keep adding to that. And by mid-December, it'll be complete. We're not going to add. Brenda has a fabulous appendix. We're not going to add more to hers. So So go ahead if you have any questions during the show. I'm watching. Carolyn and Cody, it's always good to see you. Thanks for helping me kick off the show. And if I can figure out how to play a recording, we'll do that. So
that's always helpful.
I think this is what we do. So enjoy.
All right. Bye.
Happy holidays.
So many cooks in the kitchen.
My name is Dilip Barman in Durham, North Carolina. For those of you who watch us regularly, welcome back. And if you're new, a special welcome to you. We've been having these shows for about 2.5 years now. We started at the beginning of the pandemic. A bunch of us Food for Life instructors. Food for Life is a nutrition education program of the Physicians Committee. We have over 300 instructors around the world, and more just recently were certified, who teach classes to keep us healthy. They're evidence-based classes where we talk about nutrition and we cook. We make all these wonderful dishes that are healthy and easy and tasty. We have classes to keep you healthy, and we have classes for specific conditions like cancer to help manage and possibly reverse cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure. So check us out, fflclasses.org. See if there's an instructor near you. We also have some classes that are online. I'm making a stovetop apple crunch. Apples are a good source of fiber. You've heard that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And I love this apple. It's called a sugar bee apple. I don't know if you can see the label. I took the label off the others, but I left this one with a label. I love the sugar bee. It's juicy, sweet, and it's just wonderful. I buy extra for my neighbor. It's now my neighbor's favorite apple. Let's actually get going cooking. I'll tell you more about the nutrition as we cook. So I'm going to start with some rolled oats. So let me just get a spoon. So I'm going to take 5 tablespoons of rolled oats. Rolled oats are wonderful, great sources of fiber and magnesium. I'm going to put 5 tablespoons. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to optionally toast them. So there we go. There's the oats. Okay. Now this is optional, but it adds some nice flavor. So I'm going to put this on a medium heat. Okay. And to save time, while it's cooking, I'm going to pick one of these apples. Let's pick this one. And I'm going to cut the apple into 1/2-inch pieces. It smells so good. Okay. And what you want to do with the oats is you want to occasionally mix them up a little bit. There's very little risk of the oats burning, especially on medium heat. And you want to go for a minute or two. You're going to start smelling the toasted oats, which I'm just barely getting a whiff of right now. Okay. Now the apple I'm cutting into roughly 1/2-inch cubes. It's not critical. You can go a little bigger. I wouldn't go any smaller because it might get mushy. So, but it'd be nice if they were reasonably uniform. Okay. I love this dish. Many of us like apple crisp, but you can't make apple crisp in 5 minutes, which is what I'm going to do. As I was preparing this last week, I was trying to figure out what I was going to make, and I came up with this. I invented this dish. It's based on similar things I've done in the past. My wife said, "Philip, that's too easy. You should do something more complicated." And I thought about it, and I said, well, during holiday cooking, a lot of people are making lots of dishes. It's nice to have easy dishes. So I think you will agree this is a pretty easy dish, and I'm proud of its being easy. I don't think that's anything I'm going to apologize for. This is something that if you have children, children can help. I could have chopped the apple before showtime, but as you probably know, apple oxidizes quickly. It doesn't really matter because it's going to be cooked, but if you're interested in maintaining the, okay, and the oats are nice and toasted. I wish you could smell, they smell great. I'm going to go ahead and turn the pan off, and I'm going to put all the oats in a bowl. And it's okay if some of the oats stay behind. It's not a problem. So I'm going to be that careful. But let's get the oats out. Okay. There we go. Smells so good. Toasted oats are great. If you make oatmeal, this is a great way to start. Okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the pan on again, on medium. And I'm going to put the apple in. Almost done chopping. I'll put the apples that are done. I'm using a high-quality stainless pan. You want to use a heavy skillet. Stainless would be the best. You can hear the apple sizzling. And as I was saying, that apples do oxidize, and if you're concerned about the color of the apple, then you'll want to coat them with some lemon or lime juice, and that'll slow down the oxidation. But these are cooking, and I'm not really concerned about that, but I could add a little bit of lime if I wanted to. I was considering adding a little bit of tangerine or orange. Okay, so there's my apple. Okay. Oats, of course, are a great source of manganese. There is some magnesium. I think I said magnesium earlier. More than 60% of the daily value in one serving of oats. They're a great source of phosphorus, magnesium, as I said, copper, iron, zinc, folate, several B vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants. Apples are a great source of fiber, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the apples a little bit. Vitamin C, of course. Antioxidants, they have natural sugars. We enjoy eating apples, but because of the fiber and because it's mostly water, the glycemic index is surprisingly low for apples. So enjoy your apples, especially if you're eating them raw. When you cook them down a bit, you can eat a larger quantity, but we're not going to cook them so much. Okay, so I put the apples, and I'm going to put dates in. So I'm going to talk about dates in a minute. I have these pitted deglet dates, which I love deglet dates, and this is optional, but I'm going to use 2 or 3. Now, this date is pretty soft because I've soaked it. If your dried dates are hard, soak them for half an hour in warm water, which is what I did. There's so many kinds of dates. My favorite are called bari dates, and I do have lots of bari dates. I didn't bring them, but I'm just going to chop the dates. 2 or 3 dates is more than enough, and I'm going to put the dates in with the apple. This is optional. Again, dates have a relatively low glycemic index, and they add a nice treat to the apples. And I don't know if you can see on the camera, but the apples are caramelizing. The sugars are coming to the surface, and the color is changing. It's a little bit of brown, but it's more yellow at this point. It's deepening the color. And again, I wish you could smell the smell. It smells so good. So I'm going to stir it occasionally, and I'm going to cover it. And here's actually a trick. Here's the apple core, and if you want to get even more apple flavor, I'm actually going to put the core in, so some of the flavor will come out of that core as well. Let's do a stir. Okay. So let's talk about dates for a second. There's all sorts of cool dates, so let's see if I remember. Here's the pitted deglet dates. This is called a black, not Audibab, I have it written down here. A black Laughlin. This has a pit. This is called a honey date. It's so good. I'm a vegan, I don't eat honey, but it tastes like what I remember honey to be like. This is something that my family likes. I don't love it. It's called a thuri date, and it's hard. There's all sorts of dates. So I use the pitted deglet dates. We're going to use a little bit of nuts in this. Now, nuts are high in fat, so be careful about nuts. If you're eating nuts, don't snack on nuts. I don't know if you can see the apple is basically done. And you can cook this more or less. If you cook it more, the apple will be softer. So as I was saying about nuts, be careful with nuts. They're very nutritive. They have many nuts are strong in omega-3s, which is something you do want to eat, but they're also high in fat. I don't recommend snacking on nuts. I don't recommend taking this big bowl of nuts and keeping it on your armchair and enjoying a sporting event and eating nuts. I don't recommend that. But if you're eating nuts, try no more than a small handful a day of nuts. One thing you're looking for is you want low omega-6 and high omega-3. There's a thing called the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. And you can use pistachios. Pistachios are also high in omega-3s. But let me take a look at my notes to make sure I'm not saying it incorrectly. The walnut is surprisingly, it's closest to 1. You want, ideally, a ratio of omega-6s to omega-3s to be 1 to 1. But pistachios are above 50 or almost 50, and walnuts are around 4. Okay. I'm going to turn the pan off because it looks like it's nice and done. And if you notice, I'm going to take out the apple core. How long was that? Like 3-4 minutes? In my recipe, and you will we'll share the recipe document with you. In my recipe document, I have recommended 5 minutes, but I think that's done. Looks like a nice roasted apple. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some nuts in. I'm going to put just about 3 half walnuts in, and I'm going to hand break them into chunks. Okay. If you want, you can add 3, 4, or 5. Okay, so I'm going to go with 3. Actually, I'll go with a 4th one. Okay. And then I'm going to add the oats back. These are the toasted oats. I'm going to put them in. I'm going to mix that all in. Now the oats, I like to add at this point because it's going to pick up some of the moisture that the apples have given out. And hopefully this is a little reminiscent of apple crisp without the fat. And I'm going to turn the pan on just for a moment to cook it down just a bit more. But you're basically done. There's not much more left. Okay. If you use pistachios, you may want to use a food processor or a spice grinder to get a rough chop. And then I'm going to let it sit for just a minute, and then I'm going to mix in some vanilla. I love vanilla. And I'm going to mix some cinnamon in. I can put the cinnamon now, actually. Actually, let's go ahead and put the cinnamon in now. So I'm not measuring, but I do have in my recipe suggested measurements for you. By the way, at the end of the show, we have some giveaways. So you can ask questions anytime. I won't see your question until after my segment, but I'd be happy to answer it. My colleagues can answer it in the meantime. And at the end of the show, we'll actually have a Q&A session. And some, but not all of us, will be there for the Q&A. So please ask questions throughout, and then at the end, we'll invite you during the Q&A to ask further questions, and we'll tabulate your names, and then we'll draw 2 people, and you'll get prizes. Okay. So I'm going to call this done. It really smells nice. You can serve it as is. You can make some coconut cream, which I believe my colleague Mark Surkvenik has demonstrated using chickpea water. We've had a couple creams, so if you want to get a vegan cream and put it on top, you can. You can put a little bit of sweetener like this pomegranate molasses, which is what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to serve my stovetop apple crisp. It really doesn't need sweetener. And I forgot to add the vanilla, didn't I? So let's add a little bit of vanilla. I like to add the vanilla at the end. Let's dump this back in to mix it up, because vanilla is very volatile. So if you cook with vanilla, you're going to lose a lot of the vanilla. Okay? So let's go ahead and reserve this with the vanilla. And as I said, you can add some molasses, but it doesn't really need it. So let me just get a spoon. Easy peasy. This is like a 5-minute dessert. And let's see what it tastes like. It's wonderful.
One of the things that I used to just really love before I went plant-based was macaroni and cheese. That was like one of my favorite things. And even just like the cheap stuff out of the box, like I really liked that. And so this is kind of what we would call crafty mac and cheese. So it's a little crafty. And we're going to make that first, and then we're going to do a cheese sauce you can use in 3 different ways. So we're going to start with the instant one first. So what did you want to say before that? Is there anything? We're talking about cheese, like, oh, we have a hard time giving up cheese.
That was one thing that's a little bit tough for me too. Every night I'd have like a little plate of nachos with some cheese, melted cheese. And so I got away from that, but that was one of those things that was hard to do at first. But I actually substituted hummus instead of my cheese, and that was a really good substitute. So, but I am excited to do these recipes. I have not done these yet. So these are Carolyn's recipes, and so yeah, thanks for joining us.
All right, so we're going to start with cashews, which I know there are people with tree nut allergies, so I want to point out that they've already made the samples that you guys are going to taste with cashews. But if you have a tree nut allergy at home, you could probably also do this with sunflower seeds. This does have to stay dry, so I would not suggest using tofu or beans in this case. But sunflower seeds could probably work. I haven't tried it that way, but I do think they would work. So you need a whole cup of dry cashews, not soaked. All right, and we're putting all of this into our, high-speed blender, the Vitamix, which this is a very interesting Vitamix they have, but we're gonna use this. And then we have oats.
1/3 cup.
1/3 cup of oats, which this is, oh, you know what? Okay, yeah, 1/3 cup. So this is a 1/2 cup measure, so I'm just gonna guess about how much a 1/3 cup is. Let's see, okay, that's probably about 1/3 of a cup. All right.
And next, 3/4 cups nutritional yeast.
3/4 of a cup of nutritional yeast. Okay, so nutritional yeast is one of those things that tastes like cheese, but there's no cheese in it. So everybody's pretty familiar, right, with nutritional yeast. All right, so we're going to do 3/4 of a cup of that.
Also called
Nooch. Vegan catnip is another one. Okay,
It's a good one.
all right. That's about 3. They actually put 3/4 of a cup. That's good. All right. What's next?
1 tablespoon paprika.
1 tablespoon of paprika. Okay. So you could use regular paprika or smoked paprika. Either one would be fine. Did it stop working? Can you guys hear me anymore? I think it might have stopped working. Okay. So 1 tablespoon of paprika. So regular or smoked paprika. Okay.
Yeah.
What's next?
1/4 cup tapioca flour.
1/4 cup tapioca flour. Okay, so they did not have tapioca. Oh, it's working again. They did not have tapioca flour, so they made it themselves on the ship by taking tapioca and grinding it up until it was flour, which is pretty cool. So,
great.
Everybody familiar with tapioca flour? What that is? Okay, so tapioca flour comes from the root of the cassava plant. So it is a root vegetable. And it's basically just dried and ground up. So that's 1/4 of a cup of tapioca flour, also known as tapioca starch. Okay, what's next?
All right, we need 1 tablespoon of dried date powder.
Okay, so at home, I would use date powder, but they didn't have date powder on board either. So they have dates, and they dried a bunch of them, and then kind of did them up really fine. So we don't actually have date powder, but we're close. So that's about 1 tablespoon of date powder or chopped dates.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, next is 2 teaspoons of mustard, powdered mustard.
2 teaspoons powdered mustard. Okay. And let's see if I can find the teaspoon. That's a teaspoon. 2 teaspoons of powdered mustard. 1 and 2. Okay.
All right, and
Is that it?
2 teaspoons onion powder.
Oh, where did the onion powder go? I don't see it. Oh, there's onion powder over there. We could grab more.
Okay.
That's probably why there were 2.
Yep.
There we go. Okay, so 2 teaspoons of onion powder. Make sure that is onion powder. Yep. Sure. I can put it back over there. Thank you. Okay. Is that it? I think that's it. Yep. That's okay. That's it. So it should stay pretty dry. We don't want this to turn into any kind of cashew butter. So we're not trying to whirl it up. It's a very interesting Vitamix. If I can get the lid back. Okay, there we go. Okay. And then we're going to turn that up. And we basically just want it to be a powder. So if you go too long, you might accidentally make cashew butter. We're not trying to make cashew butter. It's supposed to stay dry, like an instant cheese mix, right, at the store. Okay, so try it a little bit more. That actually looks pretty good. Okay, I think we did it. All right, that's very powdery, as you can see. Powder, just like you would find in one of those little crafty boxes at the store. All right. And so we're going to take a third, and they already made some actually, so we're going to use that. And we're going to take a third of a cup of it and put it, we'll turn this up a little bit. Heat. There we go. Okay. So we're going to cook in here. So you're going to do a third of a cup of it to a cup of non-dairy milk. And the one that they already made as a sample is with soy milk. So it's unsweetened organic soy milk. Okay, so a third of a cup. Just gonna kind of guess, because that's a half cup measure again. Unsweetened. You do want unsweetened and not vanilla flavored, because that would be really gross. So, and we don't want. Nobody wants vanilla flavored mac and cheese cake. That would be nasty.
Be like onion cheesecake, right?
Onion cheesecake. Yeah. That's a joke for Dilip if he's watching. Okay, so about a third of a cup. There we go. I'll put that in this pan with 1 cup of the non-dairy milk. So you could use any non-dairy milk you want to. Just make sure it's unsweetened and not vanilla flavored, because yuck. All right. Oh, that's going fast. Going faster. That's going hot. Yeah, okay. Maybe. Just I could figure out how. Okay, there we go. And you're going to start just whisking it up. And it's going to get nice and thick. Okay. Smells good. Okay, so you want to get the lumps out of it. And then just kind of bring it to a boil. So I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
It's already steaming.
It's already steaming. We're going to let you taste it over some pasta. So they've already cooked the pasta, and they've actually already made a bunch of this. So we're going to let you taste it. Okay, it's getting there. Look at that. Okay, very nice, very nice. Okay. Well, it's going. It's getting thicker and thicker. I can get those lumps out. So, all right, that looks pretty good. It's getting there. So once it gets nice and thick, about as thick as you would like it to be, so you can just keep going as it's going to keep thickening. Then you pour it over cooked pasta. And if you want to, you could put it in the oven and sprinkle some breadcrumbs or something on top if you would like to do it that way, or just serve it like this, just like you would if it was one of those boxes at the store.
It's like it's boiling now.
It is starting to come to a boil. So now that it's coming to a boil, it's going to get really thick. Because of that tapioca starch that's in it, it will thicken up a lot. But we don't want to go too much and get it to be like stringy, so we're just getting it nice and thick. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. Okay. It smells really good. Can you guys smell that? Yeah, it actually smells really good. All right. It's almost there, almost there. Okay, and I don't want to do too much on it, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Okay, that's really thick and bubbly. Can you guys see that? I'm not sure anybody can. You can stand up if you want to and take a look, but it's very thick and bubbly. Yeah.
Pull it up.
Yep. And so we can kind of show you, like, see how, like, it's getting really thick and bubbly. It still has a little bit of clumpiness to it, but okay. I should probably taste that too. Let's see. All right, I'm going to turn it down just a little so it doesn't go too far. Let's see. Let's taste it. It's really good. Okay. So if you want to, you could add a little bit, maybe just a little bit of lemon juice to kind of brighten up the flavor. You can do that since we're not using salt. All right, that looks done. Yeah, I think that is done. All right, perfect. Look at that. Very nice. All right, that is very thick and creamy. Do we have another clean spoon?
Yeah.
Hold it up and show. Okay, so yeah, there's still a few clumps in it, but
I'm gonna try that one.
yeah, you want to try it? Okay. All right, there we go.
Thank you.
Below, hot.
I don't want to damage my taste bud.
No, don't do that. All right, still a little clumpy. Okay. Isn't that good?
Yeah, that's very tasty.
And it's quite good. So, and just a tiny hint of sweetness from the dates. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, so I've turned that off, and we're gonna set that aside. And we're gonna do our next one. So I'm gonna get that right there if you guys wanna take a look at it. So you can see, that looks like, I'm trying, it's as loud as it gets. So yeah, okay. So we're gonna work on the next one.
Yep.
Which is, I'm gonna do that, and we'll go to that. Okay, so it's one called Incredible Vegan Cheese, which is also made with cashews. Again, this one you could use, you could probably use beans in it or tofu, but I did it with cashews just because of the mouthfeel of it, but you could also probably use sunflower seeds in this one as well. Okay, so we're gonna start with the cooked cashews. Yep, there we go. What's next?
2 garlic cloves.
Two
peeled.
whole garlic cloves. We're just gonna throw them in because why not?
Nice big ones.
Nice big ones.
All right, 2 tablespoons of, apple cider vinegar, which is right here.
There it is. 2 tablespoons apple cider vinegar. Okay.
Then we need 2 tablespoons tapioca flour.
2 tablespoons of tapioca flour. I think that's what this is. 1 and 2. That looks good.
All right. Okay. 2 tablespoons nutritional yeast.
2 tablespoons nutritional yeast. That's what that is.
And then 1 cup of water.
And wasn't there onion powder?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was on the other one and it was sitting over there. No wonder. 1 cup of water. Oh yeah.
A cup of water.
We need 1 cup of water. Thank you. So, okay. Yep. Okay. So the cashews have already been boiled, and that's the first part. You want to boil the cashews.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you guys have samples. What do you think? It's pretty good, isn't it? So, all right. 1 cup. Oh yeah, there's the cup measure. Got it. 1 cup of water. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. And we're just going to whirl that up with the lid. Hang on. I'll put the lid on. Don't want anything exploding. Okay. Get on there. It's a very interesting Vitamix we have here. There we go. Okay. We're going to whirl that up. Okay, let me take a look at it. So this is a really interesting recipe. Oh, that looks great. Okay, so this is a very interesting recipe because you can do 3 different things with it, okay? So just like this, without cooking it, you can drizzle it over pizza. So if you're about to put your pizza in the oven, and it's already got everything on it you want. So you've got your whole grain crust, you've got some tomato sauce, you've got some beautiful roasted vegetables, whatever you want on it. Then drizzle this over the top of the pizza and put it in the oven, 450 or so. You want a pretty hot temperature, and bake it. And this stuff puffs up and turns kind of brown and gets a little stretchy, okay? So that's first way to do it. Just like this, it's done. Yep, hold it up.
This is called the Incredible Vegan Cheese.
3 ways.
3 ways.
Incredible vegan cheese, 3 ways. So this is way number 1. All we've done is just whirl it up, and then you pour it over something you're putting in the oven. So it has to go in the oven at about 450 degrees, which it probably says right there to use as pizza. Okay, yep. So it needs to be at least 425 to 450, pretty hot, because then that's gonna make it puff up and get a little stretchy, which is pretty cool. That's what we want on our cheese pizza, right? Okay, and then the second way is we're gonna cook some of it. And the way you guys are gonna taste it today is the second way, okay?
And raw, it can be raw?
Without any cook?
So without cooking it is when you can use it on pizza, okay? But after that, you're gonna cook it, and let me turn this up a little bit. Turn it down, turn it way down, okay. And then they gave me a spatula. Where did it go? I've lost my spatula.
Oh, right here.
Oh, spatula, there it is. Okay, so we're gonna just cook it a little bit until it starts to thicken up. And the way you guys are gonna taste it today is way number 2, okay? So you cook it until it starts to bubble and thicken, and that tapioca starch that's in it will help it thicken up a lot. Okay. And then way number 3 that we're not going to taste today because they didn't really have time to do this, but way number 3 is when you keep cooking and cooking and cooking it until it gets really thick, and then pour it into a silicone mold or whatever shape you like. Put it in the refrigerator covered, and the next day when you pull it out, it's really firm. Now, it's not firm enough to shred, but it's firm enough to slice it. Then have it on some whole grain crackers. So it's a nice, thicker, still soft cheese, but it's, you know, not pourable anymore, so it's nice and thick. So you can make little slices out of it. And then this way number 2, what I like to do with this is add spinach, some cooked spinach and some artichoke hearts, and make like a spinach artichoke dip. And maybe some red pepper flakes. You're gonna need red pepper flakes and a little bit of lemon juice and some cracked pepper, and it tastes like spinach artichoke dip. All right, so it's already starting to thicken up. There it goes. All right, it's even clumping up a little bit. All right, so the sample way they did it was way number 2, okay? And then they have samples you can taste that are just gonna be the sauce, or you could have it with a breadstick, but the breadsticks do have a little bit of salt in them and gluten. So they wanted everybody to know that. So if you don't want the salt that's in the breadsticks or the gluten, just tell them you would like the cheese, just the sauce with a little spoon, okay? And you can taste it that way. But they've got so they do have breadsticks if you want to try it that way.
That's really thickening up quick.
Really thickening, yeah. So
Constantly have to stir it pretty much, don't you?
yes, you do have to stir and stir and stir.
So don't walk away when you're doing that.
And do not walk away. Exactly. So this is one of those where you have to stand here and babysit, but look how thick that's gotten. It's very, very thick, like seriously thick. Yeah. Whoop, I'm sorry, I picked it up off the induction. Beeped at me. All right. So
The finished one.
this is way number 2, and this is the finished, so you can see how thick it is. Very, very thick, like really thick, like mayonnaise. That is very thick. And then if you just keep going and going for probably a good 10 more minutes, it's gonna get really, really thick, like way thicker than that. You can pour it into something and chill it overnight. And it should, I'm gonna try to get it to that level because we're stopping here right now because we already have that, so that's way number 2. I'm gonna see if I can get it to number 3. If I can get it to go thick and hard enough here. It's, okay, it's getting there. It smells so good. You gonna taste it? Yeah, see what you think. Okay, there you go. I was gonna give that to you. There you go. Okay, wow. Wow, that is getting really thick. Okay, woo. Yep, look at that.
The only thing you did different heat time?
Sorry?
The only thing you did different was cooking time?
Cooking time.
Yeah.
That's it.
The longer you cook it, the thicker it's gonna get.
Yep.
Hot water is gonna evaporate.
Look how thick that is.
Yeah, it's really tasty.
Seriously thick. Ooh, I'm sorry, I keep picking it up off the induction thing and it's beeping at me. Okay, look how thick that is. Oh my gosh. So right now it's beyond hummus stage. It's like way thicker than hummus. And it's starting to really clump together. Look at that. Okay. Is it good?
Yeah, that's
Let me
excellent.
taste. Okay, let's see. Let me give it a try.
That garlic really gives it that kick.
Oh yeah.
It's really tasty. I love garlic though.
Me too. Garlic on anything except chocolate.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh my goodness, look at that.
So if we had a mold,
Look how thick that is, yeah. So it's just about to the stage where you would pour it into a silicone mold, and then you would just put it, make sure it's covered, But bring it to room temperature first. Don't just stick it right like this hot in the refrigerator. That's not a good idea for any food ever. So bring it to room temperature first, and then put it in the refrigerator. So this, I mean, it's like seriously, like really, really, really thick. So almost there for stage 3. Still not quite thick enough to mold it. Oh, I missed the pan.
So can we make this in bigger batches?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep. All right. So yeah, this makes just like one nice round of cheese that when you take it out of the refrigerator the next day, unmold it, you can just slice it with a knife and put it on. I serve it on crackers and vegetable sticks, things like that. But it's very, very thick and sliceable. Okay, it's just about there. Look at that. Look how thick and beautiful. Yeah. Now look at that. That is so thick. All right. I think that's just about done, because this is a nice high temperature. You do have to babysit this. You can't walk away from this if you're doing it, so you have to stick with it. But once it starts to get to the point where it's like a big clump that wants to stick together, you're probably about right in putting it in the refrigerator. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think that's pretty close.
Okay.
That's pretty close to stage 3. So I'm just gonna turn that off so it doesn't burn. Okay, and it just smells incredible. Yeah, oh my gosh. Okay. So what I like to do with it is slice it and use it on sandwiches, like whole grain bread, with some vegetables. Really good. Got it? It's extremely thick. Wow. And it's actually stretchy. Look at that.
Oh.
Look at that.
Nice.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yep, it's like very, very cheesy. So, yep. Honestly, at home, I'd probably let it go a little further for stage 3 just to really, really get it dried out and evaporate all that liquid out of it. And it's just gonna be super hard. So, well, not super hard, but, firmer than this.
Could we add like herbs to this?
Absolutely.
Cheese?
Yeah, so this would be a good stage where you could put in some fresh herbs. Like, that's a good idea. So basil, oregano, maybe some fresh cracked pepper, thyme, that kind of thing, whatever herbs you like. But I would bring it to room temperature first and then mix in your herbs and then put it in the refrigerator so you'll have a nice herbed soft cheese that is sliceable. So, yeah. Has everybody tasted the stage 2 one where it's kind of what do you think?
But the breadsticks, yeah, it's really good.
It's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah.
Make a nice dip.
So it actually tastes differently. You didn't add any different flavors to it, correct?
No, it's just the cooking time.
Like the stage 2, and make a mac and cheese out of pie. Using it was the 2 glass munidor sanger.
Yes. So we actually have stage 2 right here. So this is stage 2 level, and it looks kind of like mayonnaise at stage 2. And then if you keep cooking, it's very thick, but it's not really stretchy yet. So once you've gotten it mayonnaise, that's stage 2, and you could add in things like, if you want to, add in some cooked spinach that maybe you wring the water out of a little bit, but cooked spinach and some artichoke hearts chopped up in it, and some red pepper flakes, some lemon juice, that kind of thing, just a little bit of lemon juice, and that would make a really good spinach artichoke dip right there. And then just keep going and going with it and see how much the texture has changed from stage 2, mayonnaise-like, to stage 3, really stretchy and cheesy. So, yeah, it's kind of incredible, which is why it's incredible cheese 3 ways.
I love it. Thank you.
So many cooks in the kitchen, so many recipes to share. So many cooks in the kitchen with meals for you to prepare. We've got fruits and grains, veggies and beans, more healthy food than you've ever seen. So many cooks in the kitchen, plant-based meals to prepare. So many cooks in the kitchen with ideas we're happy to share.